Hello, everybody. So now we are full in English because we are the first panel and we're going to try to speak in English.
Hi, everyone. I'm Clara Audry. I'm partner at the VC firm Caphorn. I'm very happy to be presenting the Barometer with Franck today on behalf of France Digital.
And hi, everybody. So my name is Franck Sebag. I'm partner at EY, in charge of the fast-growing companies department in Europe. So we are looking for startup and scale-up and unicorn. And I'm the co-writer of this report for now 10 years. So happy to give you an overview of the key figures.
Great. So today is a very singular day to present data because we've had, as Benoit and Frédéric said, an amazing week with $1.4 billion invested in the French tech. So basically, even though we had a record number of 800 respondents this year, the data is a bit outdated, but there should be some interesting finding anyway. And we are very happy to have had a lot of startups and VCs responding to this survey.
What I propose is to give you an overview of this report. So this report is more than 40 pages. So you can find the full report on the social media and our website. So here you're going to have the main messages. So the first one is on the growth. So as you can see here, or perhaps not possible to see, but I'm going to comment figures because it is written very small. You can see that you have it's not the good one, but anyway, doesn't matter. It's not the good slide, but anyway, doesn't matter. So because it's a slide of last year, but and Maman is writing something. Okay, so. Anyway, what you is not possible to see on the screen is the fact that between 2020 and 2019, you have an increase of 14%. And what is really key to understand is that you have more than a third of this revenue that is made outside France. And what is really important also to understand is that when you are bigger, the weight of the international revenue is key. So the more you grow, the more you have to be outside France. So we are talking about born global companies.
So this one is good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll do it without any slide. That's okay. The big topic is still the talents. It won't be a surprise, but recruiting talents is key. A startup usually have two legs: talents and financing. And big news for 2020, it has been still very difficult to recruit people, and especially marketing and sales people and developers as well. And so I mean, it's really interesting to see that we know we have an employment issue in France, and we must basically bridge the gap. There shouldn't be a gap between the training of employees and former employees and the need of technology companies. So we really hope that that we will close this gap. Another thing that is still not in the slide, but in terms of diversity, gender diversity is still something we are working on. The glass half full, we have 43% of women in tech companies. The glass half empty, we've only had 12% of women CEO. It's growing, but slowly. So still a bit of work to do on this side, but I'm confident it will get better. And we wanted to speak about the challenges again.
But without the slide,
yeah.
because
again,
we are in English and
without
slide, because we like this kind of exercise.
It's a great challenge. So there was a list of a number of topics that are very challenging for startups. And the one I picked, not to be too boring, is the public procurement ones. French digital startups basically do not benefit today from public procurement program. So I would say, please stop saying no. 80% of startups, for 80% startups, the public market is less than 25% of their revenue, when 55% of them would like to go take part in public tenders, even though it's long, it's difficult. So we must open basically public market to French startup. That was my main I would say advice and hope for the future.
At the same time, as mentioned by Benoît, Frédéric, and Cédric, you can see that we are at the beginning of a new chapter of the French tech, and one of the indicators is investment. So you know that at the end of June 2021, we have not 4.5 billion euros, but 5.3 billion euros invested in the French tech ecosystem. It means what? It means that we have more money than the 12 months last year. So it is just amazing. As you mentioned earlier, yesterday, just $1.5 billion just with three startups. So just amazing. And what is really interesting to understand is that it is clearly a European movement. So in Europe, you have a strong increase of all investment. Do you know that during the 6 months of this year, we created 3 times more unicorn than in China? It means that Europe today is clearly key in the worldwide scene in order to have very good startups, scale-up, and unicorn. And when you compare figures between Germany, UK, and France, you can have also good indicators. Clearly, in UK, at this moment, they are far away from us, and is because the ecosystem in UK is more mature than us, and I'm sure that we're going to be on the top in a couple of years. If I compare with the other countries in Europe, the main competitor, or perhaps the main country where we can interact, is Germany. Today, we are, depending on each half year, we are number 2 or number 3 in Europe, but not on the venture capital. Because in investment, as you know, you have 2 topics. You have investment by venture capitalists, but you have also gross equity. Gross equity is when you have, they round more than 100 million euros. So in venture capital, France is very close to Germany. Where we need to improve our interaction is clearly on gross equity. Thanks to the last news on Sora and also Vestiaire Collective or the last one, Miracle. Yes, 555, good number to have in mind. It will be possible, perhaps, to have at the end of this year something like 10 billion euros in France. As mentioned by Cédric at the beginning of this day, when I started to interact with Barometer in 2014, only 900 million euros were invested in the startup. So today, it is 10 times. Yeah, we have the good one. Well, yeah, sorry, thank you. So here, it is more or less the same with a new photo, new pictures, and in order to give you these figures, so it is investment in France, as you can see, 5.1 billion euros at the half of 2021 compared to last year. And I was on these topics, so you can see different things. You can see that UK is number 1 with more than 16 billion euros, so compared to France and Germany. Something also interesting to have in mind, because these figures are at the end of June 2021. Last year, I think, in investment, France was more resilient than UK and Germany. Why? Because in France, we had a lot of support from BPI, from VC. So the decrease was not a decrease last year compared to 2019. So it was not the case in Germany and UK, because when you compare investments between 2020 and 2019, it was a decrease. So typically, you know, the variation are not so important, not so easy to understand, but what I would like to focus on is the fact that we'll have 10 billion euros at the end of this year. So it was the key message without the good slide, but anyway, that doesn't matter. You will find all the figures on the social media. I would like just to thank all the startups, because we have, as you mentioned, 700 startup respondents. So thanks for that. Thanks also all the VC which are supporting this study, and also all my team, because a part of my team is here, Vivien, Valentine, Ingrid.
Thank you, Vivien.
Thanks for your help, because as you know, in order to be ready in September, we need to work in August. So thanks for this time, and happy to present you this barometer next year. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.